Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. We ride together. We together, terrible marriage for life. It was a separation, so from the year 2016, which is quite a while back now. Yes, you all have been separated, definitely. You all, it seems as though it's down over for Will and Jada Smith on the ground. That Jada recently reported that they're isolated and are setting out towards separate from any second from now. However, will shock everyone when he emerged to report that he petitioned for legal separation from Jada. And you all won't completely accept that why he at last snapped and unloaded her was Jada covertly enamored with Tupac. This entire time, I truly didn't have any desire to get hitched. Yet we just got hitched in light of the fact that so you all is most certainly long-term of the Hollywood separation, and Will and Jada just jumped on that train since they recently reported that they are isolated and maybe getting a separation any second from now is exceptionally wild the way in which they went. From being one of the significant couples in Hollywood to having their marriage comedian by fans, and the way that the fans are celebrating over their separation lets us know how much fans began to detest them together. It's just been a long time since they were the picture of getting through dark love in Hollywood, yet that very different in 2020 when the entire trap show occurred and individuals couldn't quit discussing how wrecked their marriage was. The show destroyed their picture furthermore. Individuals never took a gander at the marriage the same way now to revive your recollections. I will go on an outing through a world of fond memories and discuss the time that rapper August Alsina emerged to uncover that he engaged in extramarital relations with Jada, and to get this, he said he would have given his approval to the undertaking. I really sat down with Will and had a discussion. He gave me his approval, and I completely gave myself to that relationship for quite a long time of my life. You all, this entire entrapment essay fired up a ton of dramatization, particularly for Jada, so as per August, this entire undertaking went down in 2016, making him 23 at the time, while Jada was 44. The age hole alone was a ton. However, the age wasn't the main thing that individuals were discussing. The genuine kicker here was that August was essentially important for the family in those days. He was remaining at the Smith home during a difficult situation in his life, managing some medical problems, and on top of that, he was companions with Jad and their child, so Jayan engaging with him raised in excess of a couple of eyebrows. However, at that point, the Smiths chose to carry their privately owned company to the red. Casual conversation. Will then talked on the issue, saying that he never gave August the green light for the undertaking. They likewise guaranteed that the undertaking occurred during when they were on a little break, and when they fixed things up, she cut it off. You and I were going through a truly challenging time, definitely. And we decide I was finished with your butt, better believe it. You kick me to the I was finished with you now. Doubt we relationships have that, however blemish have that, better believe it. We separated. Now I want for you all to remember this, since we will return again to this in brief now at any rate. She in the long run confessed all and conceded to having the snare with August, and afterward, what did you do, Jay? Well, you realize, I think from that point, as time went on, I got into an alternate sort of ensnarement with August. This scandalous red casual conversation episode got into an entire sticky situation, and Jay wound up taking the greater part of the intensity. After the snare show, it resembled watching a train wreck in sluggish movement, since individuals began to acknowledge how wrecked things were between them. Jada's remarks didn't improve the situation either, in light of the fact that fans accept that she made it sound as she would even not like to be with Will. I mean, she dropped this stunner that she never at any point needed to weed Will, saying that the main explanation she got hitched was that her mother woods her to get hitched. I truly didn't have any desire to get hitched yet. We just got hitched in light of the fact that Gam was crying. I was under such a lot of tension, being a youthful entertainer, being youthful, and I was very much like pregnant. I was very much as I didn't have any idea what to do yet. I just realized I was like I never needed to be hitched. Then there's why is the time that will uncover that he had gone through years arranging the ideal 40th birthday celebration for her, since she had been having something of an emotional meltdown. However, Jada didn't see the value in the party or his endeavors, and she felt like Will was simply showing his inner self so that the world might see. After her 37th birthday celebration, I employed a group to coordinate her 40th birthday celebration. I had employed a narrative group and followed Mama's family roots. It would have been what lifted her out of this emotional meltdown, and it would have been my most profound and gorgeous decree of affection, and she's let me know that the party was the most ludicrous presentation of my inner self. There's the opportunity that she emerged and basically said that Will doesn't fulfill her in the room. Let me know everything you want, say to me what you need. And on top of it, I realize that I must be responsible to do likewise. And do you, I genuinely attempt. Edna, to be reasonable for her, she conceded that she expected to convey her necessities better, saying, simply because I got time today, quit standing out as truly newsworthy. Watch the red casual conversation I had with Gwyneth Paltrow for yourselves. Won't and I ever had an issue in the room, thank you. However, it actually made Will look terrible in light of the fact that fans felt like she was purposely attempting to embarrass Will and undermine him. Gracious, and might we at any point, if it's not too much trouble, discuss the way that she makes recordings of him where she affronts him when he's obviously awkward and afterward post it online. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I rethinking our relationship? I would agree. Don't simply begin shooting me without asking me. Wow, on the off chance that you could film gays, come assist us with, again satisfying, I'm actually managing. Silliness, don't and no. She better believe it, cause she could don't only definitely there was such a lot of dis. Cuss how Jay most likely look I detests, well yet what truly had fans convinced was the point at which an old letter that Willow kept in touch with Tupac re-emerged on the web, and this was the final bit of ridiculousness for a ton of fans, as per a few reports. Willow composed the letter to Tupac when she was 11 years old, and she composed, "Day Tupac, I realize you are alive in some spot. I think my mom truly misses you. Might you at any point, if it's not too much trouble, return? Could you at any point return so mom and me could be blissful? I wish you here. I truly love Willow." Willow composing this letter was sufficiently awful, yet what aggravated it was the way that she had consistently discussed how he had an uncertain outlook on Jada, and the amount she really focused on Tupac. Jada and Tupac have been excellent companions before he passed, and Will has conceded that he felt desirous of their association. Were you ever envious of the affection Jay had for Tupac? Good gracious, no doubt, except for she simply cherished him like he was the picture of flawlessness, yet she was with the new ruler, you know, so it resembled, I never could, like even we were in a room together, multiple times I was unable to address him. You know, Ness was terrible enough, however the most Eddingly awful part was that Tupac had been died before Willow was even conceived, and fans guessed that Jada had filled Willow's head with such countless accounts of Tupac, that the young lady had begun to feel like he would be preferable for Jada over her own dad. Gracious, and recall how she indicated that Will was attempting to fulfill her in the room. Well, she essentially emerged to concede that she has a dependence on the dreadful time my kind of addictions bounce they hop around when I was youth. Well, I most certainly think I had a fixation on sex or some likeness thereof. Yes, that everything could be fixed by sex. Yes, you understand what I'm talking about. Or the way of behaving's joined to it, 'cause it's you to have a ton of sex that is perfect, yet for what reason are you having all that is what you got to see. You understand what I mean? Then there's that wreck that occurred at the Oscar last year with the slap around the world when Will slap Chris Rock for poking a fun at Jay. AIDS Alifa spouse's name out your mouth. Wow, buddy. Yes, it was a G.I. Jangel. Keep my significant other's name out your mouth, I will affirm. I could affirm that Jada did get a ton of disdain for the slap, which didn't check out in light of the fact that dislike she requested that Will slap Chris or any such thing anyway. Fans felt like she was hauling the matter excessively lengthy, and they blamed her for attempting to drain what is going on and will apologize for the slap. Expressing brutality in all of its structures is harmful and damaging to my conduct. Finally, last night's foundation grants were unsatisfactory and unpardonable jokes to my detriment, which are essential for the gig, yet a kid's story about Jada's illness was a lot for me to bear. And I responded sincerely. He likewise apologized to Chris Rock straightforwardly, saying, I might want to apologize to you freely.